Hey guys, thanks for tuning in today. Alright, I want to go over what I'm doing with my Happy Planner for this coming year. So, I've already have a video of how I use it, but this is summer of 2000, well, not even the summer. School has not ended yet, but I am so ready for 2019-20 that I cannot wait. So I'm already planning or starting my planning this year. Since I will be out in Europe for a little bit this summer, I won't have time to do any of this or much of this. So I want to get it done now so when I come back I have time to prep my classroom and get ready for next school year that is to come, and time is going to fly by. So what I went to Lakeshore, which is the teacher store, and I found this new lesson planner. And so since it matches my classroom, which is black and gold and splash of pink here or there, I really just I couldn't help myself and I had to get it. Plus I had a coupon, so you know that helped out. So in years past, I've done a variety of ways to keep myself organized with my lessons, my student documents, my paperwork, receipts, reminders, all kinds of things like that. And I have not really found something, or had not really found something that worked for me. Now, I'm not saying that the Happy Planner works for everybody, but it works for me. And so I used to do the manila folders and would, get colorful ones, and this was like due now, and this was due later, and this one's like past due, or I would label it, put stuff on them, but all my stuff would always fall out, and I couldn't keep my stuff together, and it worked for a little bit, but it's not ideal. So that did not work out. Then I loved this spiral. I love how it comes decorated and the insides, but the small spirals, even the big spirals, I can put papers in here, but then they would fall out. And then how do you, put the tab? You put tabs on here, but did you space out enough papers, or you run out of pages, and how do you insert more pages? And although durable, it didn't work for what I needed it. Even if it was like a calendar or an agenda that had, a calendar in it, the spiral just didn't really work for what I need now. And then, of course, the bound type of journals, I mean, although they are awesome and pretty, and, they're flexible, most of them, again, putting papers in here, and even if it was like a calendar or something, when I want to add papers in it, or I want a pocket or something, how do I make that happen? And there are ways, but there's only so much you can put when you're bound only to this width of your notebook. So what I do, or what I found, is a Happy Planner. So if you go to Michael's or Hobby Lobby, Walmart, I like Michael's because as a teacher you get 15% off if you show your teacher ID, and also on Sundays they have coupons for 40% off. So I download the app on my phone, and then I just pop it up, and then I get the discount. You get 40% on one item. So if you buy multiple, it's on the cheapest item, so buy one thing that's expensive, and that way you get your discount. But these are the discs that are the binds of the book, the journal, the whatever you're creating, calendar, lesson planner, and so they sell them with this already. Like, just pretend this was here. I left mine at school, or else I'd show you, but and I already took this one apart, but these would be here, and it holds the pages together. They sell them like that, but you can also take something that's in a different it's composed differently, and you can make it a Happy Planner. So that's what I'm gonna do with this. And so this is the one that I bought. It's a spiral bound. So I opened up the bag, and I'm just gonna pull and pop off all the sheets. And the only thing about this is that you do have to make sure to keep them in order, or you can just, because some are big, so you might have to do a few at a time if you don't pull it out all the way. And another way to do it is you're just twisting this little metal part. Okay, just open it up. I call it the caterpillar just because it kind of reminds me of a caterpillar. Anyway, so these discs will replace that, but you don't have the holes for it. So then what I do is I take my journal, my new lesson planner, and so of course you got to put it back together in the order that you want it. The best thing about this is, let's say that I want to add a school calendar here, then I can add a calendar. Or let's say that I want to add divider pages. Let's say this might be a divider page that I add. I just hole punch it and I have my divider pages with tabs on it. Maybe let's say that I wanted to add, and I have my things over here on this side, I wanted to add a little zipper pouch. So I can hole punch my zipper pouch, add it to my journal, and stick my things in my zipper pouch, to where I really can't, it really doesn't work with the spiral or the other type of journals. Another thing that I really enjoy is whenever I get documents, and I didn't have these handy and ready, but whenever I have documents from school, let's say, and this is the one I just pulled apart, let's say it's a school calendar, and sometimes I'll transfer information, but maybe I make, we're human, we make mistakes, or I don't want to transfer all of this information to my calendar. I just want this paper with me the whole entire school year. Well, we all know that if I were to put this paper in here, well, we know what's going to happen to those edges. After a while, it'll get tossed and lost and all crummy, and I really can't use it. What I really like about the Happy Planner is that the page size matches just perfect. I can take anything. I can use my Happy Planner hole puncher, which is heavy duty and it really is heavy, but unfortunately it does only hole punch about 3 pages at a time. That's the only bad part about it, and it's expensive. But I can laminate something and hole punch it. I can, take my teaks and I can hole punch my teaks and just have them in my journal. It's really easy to put in. It's really easy to pull apart. It's nothing, it does get heavy according to how much papers you put into your planner or your notebook, but it really does not restrict you as far as what you can put in there. You can take something that's smaller, like maybe if I wanted to create this, I just took some cardstock paper, some backing, I put a tab on it, and just decorated it, and I put it in here. Maybe it's a smaller size, but you can still line up your hole punches, and you can put it either on the top, in the middle, on the bottom. You can do horizontal. I mean, it's almost limitless as far as how you can make your journal here. So I really, really like that, the flexibility of it. I can make it whatever I need it to be. So to do that, once you've taken off the little caterpillar in the back, as I call it, all you're going to need are your discs, okay? And good thing about this, you can also make a smaller journal. It doesn't have to be the big journal if you don't want. I just like to put, like I said, school papers in here. So I want it to be a regular size sheet of paper. And then of course you need a paper cutter, okay, nice and sharp. So journal, hole punch, paper cutter, and your discs. They do sell these in different colors, so it just kind of depends on what your color scheme is. This is like a pale gold. I did see that they have some black ones, so I do want to order the black ones because I'm all about matching. If you're going to use this for an entire school year, it needs to be something that you like, something that you don't mind hauling and carrying around everywhere, and something that makes you happy. Just like your classroom, you have to decorate it and you have to make it your own because you live there for the whole school year. Sometimes you're there more than you are at home. So you really need to own it. Really make sure that you love it. And so this one, of course, because it matches, I loved it, black and gold. And I had already come through, I filled it out, got all my information in there, and then I added all of these little stickers just because I wanted to. I've already added some things for July. When I look at my calendar, when I open it, I want to be excited about what the day has in store for me, what the month has in store for me, what I have to look forward to. I have August already, and I already have some few minor things on here. I want to make sure that I don't forget things. I used to have my calendar and just scribble on it and like circle and put sticky notes on it, and although that did get me through, it wasn't as organized and it didn't look as nice. So what I really want is I want it to look nice. I want it just to be presentable when I open it up. I'm at a meeting and I'm like looking, oh, am I busy this day? I don't want them to see like a bunch of scribbles everywhere and they're like, wow, you're busy, but you're kind of crazy busy. I want to be a productive busy and an organized busy, and so that's just kind of how I have it, and I add things. And I've got all my months pretty much done, adding different things to there, things that I know, events that I know that we are for sure doing next school year, or that I am doing next school year. I do put my school and my personal events together, because I'm not good at, oh, I have 2 calendars and let me manage both of them. It would drive me nuts. I would overbook myself pretty much, as I have done in the past. So I just keep it under one. And that's just kind of how I do. So I have my months here, and then I have my lesson plans. So I have my principles and my intro. So here are my lesson plans that I will be filling in. On the dates, I've already filled in the dates here on the side. Week 1, we have 37 weeks. Filled out the dates already, and then, which is what I love about this particular planner, is that you can use it any year. You just fill it in, although that did take a little time. I was watching a movie, so I did mess up on a few of those. But anyway, so I have my class periods here, be 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, and then 5th, 6th, and 7th. I did mess up on that one, so I do have to go back and white it out and fix that. But I have my lesson plans with me, and that's kind of all I have there. And then I have my checklist. So I will write the students' names here, and then I will write checklists of important things, maybe grades as we go along, or if we have the students have to turn something in. I have one for each class period, so that will work for me. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this and put that to the side. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my paper cutter, and I'm going to, and I think I have 2 pages, I sure do. I'm going to just cut off the edge, right on the edge. So I'm going to keep my measurements. So I got to look at my measurements just to make sure I'm good. And I'm just going to, just to make it easy, I'm going to put it at the 8 and the way through. And then I hold it at the top, because sometimes when you bring this down, it slides the paper. And there you go. So that's that. So I'm going to do that to all my pages. So yes, this takes time, but it's what I want. So I don't mind the time it takes. If you're the person who's like, no, I'm not going to sit there and take this whole book apart and cut each page 3 pages at a time, because that's all this thing takes, although it's $40, you'd think it'd be able to a whole bunch of these 10 pages, but it doesn't. That's something that I think that they need to work on, but just my opinion. But if you're the person that's not going to do that, they do sell the Happy Planners already with the months. It's just a calendar, not a lesson planner. So because I need a lesson planner, that's why I'm doing this, okay? So there are some little spaces here that you can, again, it says max 3 sheets, but you can kind of go with it as you choose. So once you insert it, I'm going to go through on the bottom, right on the top of the bottom line, and now I have to stand up because I know this is going to be, since it's a cardstock, I know it's a little tough, okay? So there we go, there's my first trim. So I have to make sure, so they all line up, I have to make sure that I line up all my pages at that bottom, the top of the bottom white line, and push it in all the way top and bottom. So that way, when I come in and put my rings and my discs in, I know it's gonna work. So with one page, you really can't, you know, it's just one page, it's flimsy, it's really not gonna do much. But you insert in the little mushroom hole punch, you insert your discs and then you have the front cover of your journal. And there you have it. They do have smaller ones and they do have bigger rings. And again, they're different colors. It just depends on how big you want your journal. At first I did have the big one, and let me see, I have it here so I can show you what that looks like. I do have it here. So these are the big rings, which actually these are gold, but I don't have enough. These big rings are great for a bigger binder, but this small ring is the same thing. This is the 1 inch, this is maybe 1.5, maybe 2 inches, I can't remember. But these are the different sizes. I think they even have smaller ones. I'm not sure, something in the middle. But these are just my extra ones that I have. You can have a small journal, you have a small booklet, you have a big one, you have index card rings. The only bad thing about this is that it does, I mean, all you gotta do is just pop it off and pop it on. So if it's not on there really good, yes, it can come off, but I really don't have much of a problem with keeping it together. And I treat it pretty rough, okay? So from here, after I do all of my pages, I'll put my entire book together, and that's kind of how that will go. With all of the inside of my calendar and stuff, when I came through to decorate it, I did go to Tuesday Morning, and I did find all of these awesome, and they were only, let's see, how much were they? $6.99 from $20. So it was a bargain. And so it has all these fun stickers. Not all of them, although they are enticing to use, not all of them match my color theme. But like this one's perfect. It's black and white like my classroom. But like some of them, you know, they're just a pop in color I might use, but I'm really going to try to stick to my color theme just to really make it something that I really like, and something that when I'm sitting in a meeting and or with someone and I'm going through my calendar, it's not embarrassing because it's kind of like all over the place. And so anyway, so these are just some booklets. They're really cute. I found my Tuesday Morning $5.99 compared to about $20 per booklet that you would get at Hobby Lobby or Michael's or whatnot. So definitely shopping the bargains. I am having my students do this Happy Planner. I am buying more of these for the classroom, and I'm going to have them learn how to keep a calendar and how to keep up with events and how to schedule events and life and things of the sort. So I will have these that I don't use for my students to use, and I have added it to their supply list. It is something that they're going to be using personally and hopefully for all 4 years. So it's something that, you know, although they, you know, it is a, you know, I'm going to show them how they can make their own and just buy the discs, or they can buy the whole entire booklet. But I will show them this video so then that way they can also too be able to create their own. If they don't have, or if they don't want to buy the $30 one, I did show them as well that they go to Michael's. Sometimes Hobby Lobby, but Michael's, and they get the 40% off coupon to get a good deal. Okay. All right, so that is how that goes, and let me go ahead and finish it off, and I'll show you the end result. Alright, so now that I have all of my papers just come through, I put the back and the front together. Back cover, front cover. And then it's coming along. Take a little stack of paper. Let's see, this might be too thick. I think it might be too thick. Let's see. Oh no, actually. So as long as your front cover and back cover are on well, then you just take your little stack of papers. If you make it too thick, it doesn't work, so beware. And just put your fingers, push your covers together so that these will stand upright for you. And line them up. Hopefully you did a good job at the cutting part. My lesson plans, and these are my calendars. And then you just push in. Now whenever I decorated mine before I cut it, so I did put some of the stickers on it was close to the spine of the original book. So just do know that when you do add things like that, the papers get thick. So you might have to do it on its own instead of 3 pages at a time when you're hole punching. And there you have it. So that is how I converted. Now, and it will get thicker once I add paper. So right now it's kind of like flimsy, but it does get thicker. There are front covers that you can buy. I did a video maybe last summer, I think, where I bought a cutting mat, a clear cutting mat, like, you know, for knife and vegetables or whatnot. And I cut it out, and I use that as a front and back cover, so it would protect my nice little cover that I had for my planner, but you don't have to do that. I may not do that this year, but it was really good because it did really protect my cover here. So anyway, so that is my happy planner that I created. I've got my calendars here, and then I got my lesson planner here, and then back here is where I'll add all of my important information. I usually put my student roster in the front. My go-tos will be there, and so that is how I have my happy planner. Okay. All right. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we will see you on the next one.